Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Capital Invest, DMV Investment Opportunities. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Capital Invest, DMV Investment Opportunities. Reggie Rowley.
Marcus Thomas.
Abi Sade.
Sade.
I didn't vote.
All right, y'all. Welcome back, man. This is our second Tuesday. Had to get bumped for them good Hoyas over the weekend. So we'll be back on Saturday, or every Saturday, at noon, 14:50 a.m., WOLDCnews.com. Check us out every Saturday at noon. Text INVEST HERE, that's one word, INVEST HERE, to 38470, 38470. We live here, we invest here radio. Check out CapitalInvestLLC.com for more information on our company. Go to our YouTube channel, search Capital Invest. Go to Meetup.com, search Capital Invest. One of our goals is to be everywhere on the internet.
Everywhere.
Omnipresent,
right? So, let's see. We got the meetup coming up November 21st. It is the third Thursday of this month. We usually have it the fourth Thursday of every month, but because of Turkey Day, we moved it to November 21st. The Hilton Garden Inn in Greenbelt. Go to meetup.com, just search Capital Invest. You'll get all the information. November 21st at the Hilton Garden Inn in Greenbelt. Hope to see you there. We get started around 7. Get a free drink ticket on us if you get there before 6:30 to use at the bar. We'll get entered into one of our raffles that night. We're usually giving away Home Depot gift cards, cash, Visa gift cards, etc. So definitely check us out. First segment brought to you by DMV Insurance Agency. Kerry, Elmer, Kenny, everybody over there. Give them a call for all your auto, home, life insurance, business insurance, any insurance needs that you may have. Give them a call at 301-841-6264, 301-841-6264, or check them out at dmvinsuranceagency.com. It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
A go boy. It's like 1,000 birthday songs.
That's 100 of them.
But I went with Stevie for the intro, though.
Can't go wrong with Stevie.
Nah, can't go wrong with Stevie. The mission of Capital Invest. We just talked about this yesterday.
That's right.
Already starting to get geared up for 2020. If you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you're doing the same. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur, the fourth quarter, really the year's over.
That's right.
Everything you've put into practice, those first 3 quarters are coming to fruition in the fourth quarter, and you are now planning on what you're going to do bigger and better the next year, what you did right, what you did wrong, etc. So our mission statement, we're looking at revamping it a little bit, but the essence remains true. Currently, our mission is to help real estate investors become successful as possible right here in the DMV. We do this by providing practical education, networking opportunities, mentorship, and providing services throughout the deal life cycle. And what that means to you is, if you are a realtor but you're having problems finding an honest general contractor, a good general contractor, if you are, if you are just an investor but you have a general contractor and you need a good realtor, or you need help with some plans and some permits, or you need help, some legal stuff with your LLC formation or your entity formation, definitely we are here to help you. We live here, we invest here. We are experts in real estate investing right here in D.C. and the surrounding areas, suburbs of D.C. Not so much Virginia, man. I don't really cross the Potomac like that.
Not at all.
I don't really do the Commonwealth, right? I don't like paying property taxes on my cars. That just don't make sense to me. But, so we experts right here in D.C., PG, Montgomery, etc. So one way we provide like the practical education and showcase what we do is this radio show right here. And definitely, again, the meetup. We love to meet you in person, November 21st at the Hilton Garden Inn in Greenbelt, right by the Fridays.
Club Fridays
in Greenbelt in the Cadillac dealership. Always like to give a couple shout outs to some of our team, our investors, our partners. Give a shout out to AJ. He closed on his first rental.
All right, AJ.
Yeah, he closed on his first rental. He got one of them Ibiza they names too. Yeah. His is like Ala de Jebi.
AJ gonna get mad though. So
yeah, I know.
AJ getting angry.
And
right
just pop
now,
up in the office.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to AJ, man. Congrats. It's been a long time coming. AJ has been a great steward of his income. He's been just, very, very, very responsible, and he has led, regular life. He has the means. He lives below his means.
That's right.
So it has afforded him the opportunity to take advantage of where we are in the market right now. He's familiar with the area. So it took a little bit of talking to, but he sees the big picture.
That's right.
So I just wanted to give him those kudos.
Definitely has vision.
Yep. Again, text Invest here to 38470 to get plugged in. That'll get you on our mailing list, email list for all the events and everything we got going on. Coming up for the rest of the year and going into the next year, we got a big event in January with E.T. and them.
That's right.
Coming to town with Jamal King, Make Real Estate Real. So be on the lookout for more information about that. We're glad to be hosting that event for him. Do you have any shout outs?
None today.
None today? I'm sure we're going to think of one. We're going to give a shout out
it'll come to me at some point.
Me, because it's my birthday. That's going to be the default for the whole show. It's just crazy how it worked out. We're usually on Saturdays, and we got 2 Tuesdays right now. Right? Thanks to them Hoyas for having that Saturday game. And, what was it? Hoyas and Terps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had
to do 980 and another one. Yeah.
So shout out to the home teams. Wish y'all much success. All right. I already highlighted the sponsor for this segment. So let's hop into, we're going through like the deal life cycle.
That's right.
Right. And then what did we do last time? We kind of went off topic a little bit, talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about the...
I'm talking about going under contract, having too many.
Yeah, but when we had went on a tangent for that last show, we started talking about all the services that we provide in our mission statement.
Oh, right.
So before that, we were talking about the deal life cycle. So we talked about finding the prospecting for the deal, evaluating the deal, and just moving forward. When you get it under contract, don't be scared.
That's right.
Right. When you got more than one under contract, don't be scared. And then, we took a little break and went and dug into our mission statement a little bit. So now we right back to the deal. And what's the next step? Or what do we look at as these steps are cyclical, right? They happen over and over again as we find deals, as our business goes through different iterations. So we had talked in the elevator about building your team.
That's right.
My bad. We talked in the spaceship.
Come on, man.
We talked in the spaceship.
That thing take a flight.
About building your team. Shout out to Lance at Car Toys.
All day, baby.
Yeah. So, so we talked about building your team. And we had an interesting in-house meeting yesterday with the staff.
That's right.
Getting geared up for 2020 and kind of revamping everything. We did a SWOT analysis.
That's right.
It was like strengths, weaknesses. I forget what the O is, and the T was threats.
Yep.
Right. And if you've heard us before,
opportunities.
Yes, it was opportunities. And if you've heard us before, we did the DISC assessment. Like, we always looking for ways to improve personally and improve as an organization.
That's right.
And we encourage you guys to do the same. Like, we share our experiences so that you get some nuggets or find some things that you can apply to your own business or apply to your own team. So when we're looking at the deal and we're looking internally with our meeting yesterday, it all kind of just revolves around building your team.
That's right.
Right. And so when you're just getting started, your team is more so external.
Right.
Right. Versus internal, because you need the resources to get that internal team. Right.
That's right.
So who do you think are the key? We touched on a realtor when you're looking for the deal. Who else do you think are key components to building your team, especially after you got this deal under contract? Who do you need? Who should you be able to tap on the shoulder to, move to the next step?
So number one, and people really misconstrue the purpose of this individual, is that appraiser. You really need the appraiser that you have a great relationship with, even if, however, your funding source determines value. You want your own appraiser. You want somebody that can respond to you quickly when you get that deal under contract to let you know real market value. They're going to be the ones to help you stay out of trouble or get you into some good trouble, so to speak, to let you know, okay, you really got a deal.
Right.
Over the years we've had several, but shout out to Anna. She's been who's the recent guy? Kyle. Anna and Kyle have been lifesavers one way or another, and they really put you in a deal, whether it be put you in it to win or say, you know what, let's go ahead and make a move another way.
So when do you engage like that appraiser? So it's after you get it under contract?
So it depends, and it depends on your volume. So for us, as we're prospecting, we may say, okay, let's do a desktop appraisal, because we'll do them in bulk. It all depends on, what your budget looks like for your business. Depends on what your business looks like. But that's part of building your team. I mean, that you need to have that appraisal be part of your annual budget. I mean, it's important. So you can do a desktop to get you kind of like a justification to see where you are, or if you if your budget's kind of tight, then as soon as you get it under contract, first thing you need to do is pull the trigger on the appraisal.
So what's the difference then from somebody that's been in the business for a long time? What's the difference between like having that appraiser and having my realtor that can pull comps?
Because a realtor is not going to be able to do. A realtor can really do apples to apples, but an appraiser can do apples to oranges and either add value or devalue houses that are not similar, but can make them similar based on different traits that a house has. They can really get you in the ballpark as they would when the house sells. So you may have a house in a particular area that may be the only house that's that type, but they can still give you that real value. Where a realtor's gonna say, here's the comps, this is what's selling, and that's it.
Right. So to put it like in a practical example, if I got a house with like an English basement in the city, like a row house, right?
Okay.
And none of my recent sales in that same neighborhood have an English basement.
Right.
A realtor will be able to look and say, well, here go like 3 comps, all sold within the last like 3-6 months. And this is what they sold for. This is the aggregate that you compare to these 2 more so than this other one.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. So your house is probably worth this. But an appraiser will be able to come in and say, take those same 3 comps and then look at the differences in other neighborhoods between English basement and no English basement and assign a value.
That's right.
To that English
English basement. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. So having a realtor who will work with the appraiser, because that's important too.
Indeed.
Right.
Because sometimes that appraiser may miss something.
Yeah.
They may say, well, what about this? Or the realtor may know about a property that's under contract and maybe off market and say, here's a deal that I know about. Can you take this into account? They can't make it, official, but they can take it into account.
Gotcha. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk more about building your team and other essential elements of your team. Reggie Riley, Marcus Thomas of Today, Capital Invest, DMV Investment Opportunities. We'll be right back. We back. Happy birthday to me. Quick nugget, man.
Yeah, you got to do it. Put them on blast.
We got to talk about what happened in the studio in the break. So we cut to the break, the music dies, and Today says, man, I never knew who sung that song until now.
Sad.
It's a sad day in America.
Every car that he has should be revoked.
Everyone.
Your driver's license, your ATM card,
your passport, because you just went to London.
Yeah, man.
All of that. We need to snatch all of that.
Look, in my defense, I knew the song. I know the song.
Everybody knows the song.
You should not. I don't care if you don't know the song. You should know the artist.
You should know.
I mean, I know who Stevie Wonder
Next subject,
is.
man.
Who is Stevie? Hold on. What do you know about Stevie?
I know he's blind.
Nah, come up to. I know he's blind.
Look, I know he's blind, and I know he's an artist. Music artist.
You've given like
Higher Ground. Isn't She Lovely?
There you okay.
Yeah.
You know, isn't she lovely? But you don't know Happy Birthday, dog.
Bruh, look. I mean, that's like, bruh. Isn't she lovely though? Everybody knows she lovely.
This is what goes on in the office every day.
That is not lit.
No,
Okay, there's no litability.
Ribbon in the Sky. I mean, come on now. Like I know some stuff, Like I just so happen not to know.
Mic, man.
I wish I knew how to work the board. I would. Mic 3. I hit off, but the color didn't change. I'm probably mic 3. Oh, I'm mic 1. All right. All right, so moving on, man. I digress. We digress.
Yep.
All right, so you got your realtor, you got your appraiser.
Yeah, so
Let's say they appraise, value good.
it's good. So we moving forward. Need the contractor to come through now. Remember, before we already had we had a contractor come through because we got it under contract to give us a general price.
Okay.
But now we know we moving forward. We want them to come back out and give us a real value. Because we can tell them, hey, look, had the appraiser come out. We moving forward with the deal. Can you come give me a real estimate? Let's walk through and look at everything we want to do and apply, a real bid on this thing.
Okay.
So you had your contractor come out and you let them know, here are the things you want to do. Give them some examples. Maybe give them the comps and say, look, I want it to look like this.
Right.
What is it going to take to get this house to look like this? And understand that there are going to be some unknowns. They're not going to know certain things until they rip down the walls, until they gut the house, what's really there. But that's when you have to remember the key words, just like in the contract. When you made the offer, the contract with your contractor needs to have a contingency. You need that little chunk of money that's your what if, in case you discover some things that the contractor couldn't see, that you couldn't see. You got some money set aside to take care of you.
So that's your what if. That's the nice way of putting it. It's more like your O-ish.
Yeah, all done.
Your O-ish
no
fund.
doubt. No doubt.
Right.
Yep.
Didn't know that was there.
Yep.
All right, so you told the appraiser going to appraise it as is, and the appraiser is going to ask you, well, what you going to do to it?
That's right.
And you're going to say, I'm adding a bathroom,
Yep.
Might be doing this, I'm adding square footage, et cetera, et cetera. You share all that with the contractor.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so your contractor had given you a general bid earlier.
That's right.
Now they give you a more specific bid with a contingency. Is there a third, phase to that, after you get your actual plans done? And they say, say for example, or maybe this is in the contingency, so we may be saying the same thing. Like they in the house, and the house has 8-foot ceilings on the second floor.
Okay.
But then when the plans come out, they did the little vaulted ceiling.
Okay.
In the plans.
Yep.
So that would be the contingency.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay.
Unless there was something structural on the second floor that we couldn't see until we tore the ceiling out that we already were allotted. A vaulted ceiling.
Okay.
And that may be because the architect, whoever did those plans, may be familiar with that property to know when you tear that ceiling out, it's a vaulted ceiling already there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I look on YouTube, YouTube University for investors, there's always the 5 things you should ask your contractor, or the 6 things you should know you should get from your realtor, and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
What are some key things that separate out contractors from good to not so good?
Ooh, that's a good one. The good from not so good contractors. I would say number one, the importance of really letting the owner know or the investor know the importance of that contingency.
Okay.
A lot of contractors prey on people for change orders, for change work orders. They'll say, okay, we can do all of this turnkey. They love the word turnkey. It sounds good.
Right.
100,000. Knowing daggone well it's going to cost more money, because if they can do change work orders, that allows them to pause the schedule and charge you interest on the money you haven't paid. So they can make way more money than what they would have been able to make if they just told you, hey, look, 100,000 plus, let's put 25% in contingency for your O-ish type of situation.
Okay.
Another thing is some contractor, the good contractors say, well, look, here's my bid, here's the contingency. However, let's make this contract pending you get some drawings done.
Right.
Because then we can look at the drawings and see, okay, this may shift because your drawings don't match what you told me you want to do.
Right.
Because if it does, if they match, then cool, the contingency will apply to anything any unforeseen things. But if it doesn't, we're gonna need to change this budget to get the house to look like your drawings. And the drawings may not match this other house. Because then the contractor may be able to help you say, hey, well, look, the house that you showed me ain't what's in these drawings. These drawings are totally different than your comparable. So do you want to overbuild it? Because you may spend more money than is required. And that's what you want. You want that contractor to say, hey, that's not what you want to do. We want to do it this way based on what you showed me, because you want that long-lasting relationship with them.
Okay. So going to the plans, then that could work in your favor also. Because when you're walking through the house, like say the basement is only 6.5 feet high.
That's right.
Or 7 feet high.
Yep.
You may tell the contractor, well, I want 8. So this just happened to me yesterday.
Okay.
Lady called in, referral from Cheryl March. You
Okay.
remember Cheryl? She
Yep.
used to sell real estate with Mo.
Yep.
Right? She's working with an investor client. They got a contract on the house, so she could just call me for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And I forwarded her over to DMV, and then we just get to talking about her project.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm like, well, what's your budget? She's like 190. I said, okay, that sounds in the realm of decent for a full gut in a row for a row house in DC. She gave me the address. I look it up. You know, it's not like overly huge and it's not too little, so 190 sound right. And she's like, yeah, that includes underpinning, so I can get 8-foot ceiling in the basement, right?
Not going.
So, if she engaged an architect with plans for 8-foot high basement. What am I trying to say? So that architect could then, so he's going to do that, and that GC may have given you a quote based on 8-foot ceilings, knowing they got underpin.
Right.
Right? But then when she talked to me, I was like, nah, just go down as far as you can. It's a basement of a row house.
That's right.
If you stuck at 7.5 or 7 8 inches,
live with it.
Live with it. That's the exact phrase I told her. I was like, you gotta live with that.
Live with it.
And she was like, why? We want 8-foot ceilings. I said, because your permit gonna take 7 to 8 months, just because that's what you want.
Yep.
So she was like, oh nah, I'm not doing that.
That's right.
Right? So say she had gotten the bid from the contractor for 8-foot ceilings, but then now she got plans that only got 7.5-foot ceilings with no underpinning.
That's right.
Now she like, well, you had told me 200,000 or 190 with underpinning, but we ain't got underpinning no more.
That's right. And the contract is cool with that because again, they don't have to underpin. That's more liability, that's more risk, and that's more time.
Right.
Because that underpinning takes time, and that's a lot of work, a lot of dirt to remove, a lot of concrete to put in, a lot of exposure to the city, and a lot of exposure to third-party inspectors that most contractors don't want to have to deal with.
And you're dealing with neighbors.
And then neighbors.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's another 30 to 45 days that you can take off of that schedule.
Yeah, but that's just on the construction side.
Yeah,
we ain't even talking about the permit side
Yes,
yet.
sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that could work in your favor. You get the plan, you say, yeah, it's contingent on the plans, like you were sharing. Then when they come back, it's like, oh, well, what we building, we not quite building what we thought we were going to build.
That's
so
right.
that number need to come down.
And all the contractor got to do now is take the slab out, see what we're working with, and there you go.
So we got the appraised value. We got a contractor who gave us a bid we can live with.
Yep.
We already got the realtor who found the property for us. Let's say it was on market.
Yep.
All right, who else we need on our team?
Right now, we got to determine if the realtor that found the property for us is going to be the same one to sell it.
Okay.
And the reason why that's important early in the game is because you want that realtor to be able to market your property well. You want them to know everything about it. You want them to, when they have an open house and they can walk through when the house is finished, they can tell, here's what we did in the basement. Here's what's new. You know, we got a new electrical panels, all new wiring, all new plumbing. Like they can give an experience to the end buyer. And that's what's really, like you're selling an experience. You're selling this opportunity to somebody they wouldn't have otherwise had you not renovated that property. So you want to really get the right person in place for that. And it may be the person who found you the house. It may not be. I mean, we've done it both ways.
So how do you vet them to see if, so I feel like any realtor, you could pull off the street to go through the process with you and know the property.
That's true.
So that's one part to it.
Yep.
Being able to sell it on the back end is a completely different
100%.
animal.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So how do you vet to make sure that's going to be taken care of too?
So I would say number one, like who do they know? Because that's very important. There are a lot of agents that don't even rely on MLS at all.
Okay.
Like first thing they shouldn't say is, well, we put it on MLS. Well, everybody does that.
Okay.
Like who are their contacts? Like how many people do they have at their open? Like go to their other open houses. Are they packed?
Right.
Now they just pack with neighbors or they pack with agents.
Well, shouldn't we first look them up to see like what other listings they got?
And then we're going to do that too.
Okay.
We definitely look them up and see what other properties they've sold in that area.
Right.
Of that price point.
Okay.
They may have sold other houses, but those houses may have been as they were when we bought ours, as is. But have they sold houses that are renovated like ours, and what type, how fast did they sell?
Right.
What price did they sell at? Did they have to do a lot of reductions? And how were they finished? Because then you want a realtor that can give you some insight into how to finish your property too. Because we're not trying to live here. We want to make sure they give us the right advice on how to sell it.
Okay. Done. All right. We're going to take a break right here. Reggie Riley, Marcus Thomas, Abisa today. We'll be right back in a minute. Me. Abisa today, who's that artist again?
Stevie Wonder, man. I always
Just
know that,
checking,
man.
Just checking.
I was playing with y'all, man.
Yeah, okay. Let's get a little bit of housekeeping out the way. Give a shout out to a few of our other sponsors. Smart Management, give them a call. They're a full service property management firm in DC and Maryland. If you're a landlord, tired of dealing with tenants, tired of dealing with repairs, you got a property that's just sitting vacant and need help getting it rented out, and the best and most cost effective way to do so, visit www.smartmgmtllc.com. That's smartmgmtllc.com. We'll give them a call at 301-887-3430, 301-887-3430. Also want to give a shout out to iFinance. When you're buying a house, most people buy houses for themselves to live in, and you gotta get a pre-approval letter from a bank. When you're buying an investment property or you're getting a commercial loan, I guess the equivalent would be a proof of funds. So if you go to ifinance.team, that's ifinance.team, the letter I, finance.team, you can generate your own proof of funds letter for any property that you are considering purchasing. iFinance provides loans for fix and flips, for multifamily, for long-term residential rentals. For all of those, the guys at iFinance have you covered, so check them out at ifinance.team. All right. This is the third segment, so we're gonna hit you guys with the where that's from, right? Let's get that clip. You ready to roll?
Oh, which one? Ezekiel?
Yep. That's the one.
You did. Yes, you did. Right? You tried to think. My son's wildest don't like to be loved. I think about it except it is his fault. You read about it.
There's a whole lot of cars.
That's what you got. That's the Ezekiel.
Nah, it has the time frames on that, on where what to start it and when to stop it.
57, right?
Start at 57 and end at 150, like 151.
You read the Bible with. Yeah. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the
That's an easy one.
of lost
My job.
and I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
We got it straight. Abisa today, who was that talking?
It was Samuel L.
All right, there you go. I was about to say.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
I think that I just Googled like famous movie scenes.
Man, you know that movie was so popular and he had so many parts. They actually have an app for that movie for all his different sayings.
Oh,
you can download the app and then you just hit all the different parts. It's
Oh,
just
I
him
gotta
saying
download
classic.
that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like the name of his wallet.
Yeah.
That's the best one. Hand me my wallet. All right, so we're going to we're gonna continue back with the deal and building your team. So new investor, you got a deal, realtor brought you a deal. Then your buy side realtor. You got your appraisal, the value's there, you're moving forward. General contractor gave you a good quote. You're moving forward. Then you said to now talk about who's going to end up selling that property for you, like on the back end.
That's right.
And whether it should be the realtor who brought you the deal or
Right.
not.
Right.
So we're going to evaluate that realtor to make sure they have experience in that neighborhood, with that type of property at that price point,
Mm-hmm.
right? We want them to be involved with the process pretty much the whole time, so they can regurgitate the story of this deal, or
Right.
the story of how this property was renovated, and maybe some different choices that had to be made and why.
Right.
Or highlighting specific features of the property that set it apart from other houses in the neighborhood. So let's say that the realtor who brought us the deal is really just like a buyer's agent. Or they were really just kind of brand new, getting their feet wet. They know that you and I, that we are ready, willing, and able buyers, or that the investor who we're speaking to now is a ready, willing, and able buyer, and they brought them a deal.
Okay.
But they don't really have any listing experience, right? So we're going with another realtor.
Okay.
And that realtor has committed to being with us throughout the life cycle of the deal, and they're going to ultimately list the property. Who else do we need?
Wow. So now, but it depends on, that's a good question, because depending on the capabilities of that realtor, we may or may not need a stager.
Okay.
Because if it's high-end real, they going to bring the staging with them.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean that they're not high-end if they don't. If they have relationships with a stager, they'll bring the staging with them. If not, then we're going to need a stager. We're going to need somebody to come in and really bring the property to life, like really define space. Especially if the property had some spaces in the basement or maybe some living areas, and maybe a challenge to really convey what the end buyer can do with them. Then we're going to have a stager come in and help us make it pop.
Okay. So let me take it back one. I think we touched on the plans and everything, but we didn't talk about that team member.
Oh.
Or
yeah.
team members.
Yeah, okay. Then you're right.
Okay.
So then we definitely need that architect.
Need an architect.
Definitely need that
Licensed,
architect.
insured architect.
Licensed, insured, bonded, available architect. Because you want those plans done as expeditiously as possible.
Yeah.
Because you need to know, and your contractor needs to know what it's going to take to get the property to look the way you want it to look.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. I overlooked that. So yeah, we definitely need and then again, you want somebody that you can build a relationship with. You want to be a priority to them, but the crazy thing is so much construction going on in this area, it's hard to stay a priority.
Right.
So, but you definitely
Especially when you're good, man. When you're a good service provider, and people get wind, they'll start referring you and referring you.
Yeah, everybody gonna burn them up.
Yeah.
And so you just got to figure out your touch points and you got to figure out how to attack the project too. You may have to do it in a varying number of ways, but having that good architect is paramount to the success of your business.
So, in addition to the architect, in terms of, I would say that checks off the plans box. But the permit box.
But then to get it permitted, you need that expediter.
You need that expediter.
You need a good one.
For the county and the city.
For the county and the city, and you need somebody that's going to have relationships with the people that sit at the desk. It's going to have relationships with the reviewers. It's going to have a relationship with the architect as well as the engineers in case we need to get things stamped, as well as the printing office, because you got to go pick it up.
Right.
And that's the beauty about us. We've been doing business so long. We can call the printing office and say, "I'm sending you something now. I need to print it now."
Right.
You know what? A lot of times they say, "We got to wait till tomorrow."
Right.
I need this one now. So you got to have. So you're right. I mean, it's just this is all part of your team. And you need these people. Just like in an office setting, you need these people to really help your project move as fast as possible.
So you get it sold. Let's even go back even a step before that, because we talked about funding, right? So your team member is also whoever your lender is.
That's right.
Your first lender, because you're going to be communicating with them throughout the process for your draws and all of that, right?
Yep.
And your secondary lender.
That's right. Your gap funding.
Your gap funding if you didn't come out of pocket yourself.
That's right.
So this is all like your team. So once you have completed a project, I think it's been my experience, and personally and witnessing it with other investors, as soon as you take one deal, like full life cycle, it changes others' perception of you.
Indeed.
Right? That credibility is like instant.
That's right.
So how does then the investor then, I don't want to say, how do they capitalize on their success, not just from a, I can close the deal perspective, but how do they then leverage that into like more and more deals?
You go back, get more money, you borrow more money, then you reach out to more agents.
Okay.
And you make more offers. And then you meet with your secondary lenders, your private investors, and you show, hey, like, here's what I did. Here is the proof is now in the pudding, because you can prove that you can purchase, renovate, and sell, and you have the entire gambit of resources to get it done.
Do you think that then, as I'm having success at the various phases, yes, I'm communicating that to my team as a whole, but can I start to leverage it even sooner? Like as I'm on the market now.
Yeah, oh,
Right.
definitely.
Or
Because,
just in the beginning, I went to closing, I bought this, I own this.
so yeah, because you have it's almost like track and field day, and you're participating in different
Track and
events.
field day. We called it like fun day or field day.
It's field day. And
Yeah.
you're participating in different events. Like, yeah, you might be a runner, but you might be throwing shot put over here. You might be doing a long jump over here. So you haven't won the whole event yet.
Right.
But you're doing different things. So you can say, okay, I closed it. So you can go to the private and say, look, I can take this deal to closing and
Right.
make you some money. And that might be the instance and that's when you go find another wholesaler. Say, look, I closed the deal.
Okay.
Bring me some more deals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then the same thing with, so that's, you find a wholesaler at that point. And then that's when you tell the appraiser, say, look, when I call you, I need you to respond, because you see I closed this deal, you got paid, let's do it again. Then the contractor, the same thing. Hey, look, now you see when I call, the next time I'm gonna call you before I get it under contract,
Right.
I might be able to just send you some pictures.
Right.
And you just give me, I'm not gonna hold you to it, just give me an estimate so that I can make an offer. So yeah, you're right, definitely along the way, because you have done a deal, as you start to phase through your next deal, you can leverage the relationships a lot more.
Okay. I got to go on a quick tangent, man.
Yeah.
You said field day. You know how we got different memories from different times in our
Yeah,
childhood. Field day, 6th grade, Mattapanat, man. In the sprint, the 50-yard dash,
Oh,
I was 4th in my class. First was Seth Davis. Second was Jewel Taylor. Third was Davina Harley. And I was 4th.
Wow. Wow.
You remember some of them names?
Yeah, I remember all of
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
Crazy, but that was 6th grade, elementary school. Field day, that's crazy. All right, so yeah, so I agree with you. I just wanted you to expand on it, take advantage of all those different points,
Definitely.
and leverage that for
Especially that wholesaler, boy. You close that deal, that wholesaler getting
Oh,
paid.
he gonna blow you up.
Oh, floodgates.
Yeah.
Floodgates. They come.
Yeah, and it works on the flip side too. So
Yeah.
like, if I'm the wholesaler and I sell something to somebody else,
Yeah.
they hitting me back up like,
That's right.
what you got? What you got?
That's
What you
right.
got?
That's right.
Especially if they're a wholesaler too.
Yeah.
Like if I was like, hey, you got some money, and they had some money, they bought the
when
deal.
we co-selling.
We co-wholesaling this deal,
Yeah.
and after it's done, that means we have wholesaled that deal.
Yeah.
So, then they just blow you up, man. It's like for real. It only takes like one phase of a whole project to be successful to then get credibility in that whole thing. Even from the standpoint of even all the service providers, even from a realtor, even from the general contractor. It's like, look at this house that I renovated right here.
Yeah.
I can make your row house look the exact same as this one I did. Realtor, look at this one I sold. Right? That one is power in that one.
Yes, sir.
It's definitely power in that one. All right, so we got realtor, maybe another realtor, stager, architect, expediter, general contractor. Who am I missing? You said somebody. Appraiser. Who else we need? Who like rounds it out? Like, and it may not be on every deal, because those are pretty much every deal.
Okay.
Who
I'm missing.
who like rounds it out?
Might have to jump in on that one.
It's cool. You can take a minute to think about it. Stanley just gave us the nod. So Reggie Riley, Marcus Thomas, Obesity, was it Adepoju? Adepoju. Close enough. So DMV Investment Opportunities brought to you by Capital Invest. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Reggie Riley, Marcus Thomas, Obesity, Adepoju here in the studio with us. We were talking about building your real estate team. We touched on a lot of the individuals and companies and disciplines that you need to be affiliated with, really to be successful, have that longevity. We talked about completing a deal, or even completing facets of that deal give you instant credibility in the industry. That that credibility leads to others wanting to work with you and bring you more business and bring you more resources. And as you prove yourself even more and more, you find out, you learn more and more about people. The relationships are deepened.
Yep.
The depth and breadth of those relationships definitely increases, and there's just much more opportunity. So we were talking about, before the break, we were starting to talk about the one-offs. Not necessarily one-offs, but filling in those gaps of individuals or service providers that can kind of round it out to make you sure you get from A to Z with as little complications as possible. And Abisade brought one up while we was on break. He was like, "Yo, photographer."
Photographers be lit.
Photographers be lit. And I can come do your headshots too.
Yeah, all that.
Right. So yes.
Yeah, you definitely need somebody to bring it all to life.
Right.
You definitely need a photographer. And even before him, like Reg touched on, the landscaper, potentially interior designer, to make the beautification of it.
Right.
But that photographer, I think, is the last person to really make it pop. And it's funny, Abisade, man, is one of the best guys to have do it, because you can even have him come make a dirty house look good.
Right.
Because I call and say, look, man, we ain't even cleaned up. Just come do your thing, get your Photoshop on, send them to me. I got to put this thing online tonight.
Right.
And he make it happen every time.
I saw one picture he did, this was probably a year or so ago, where the yard was still dirt, but it had grass.
Yeah, I told him hook that up. Yeah. So we had another one. We had some issues with appliances. I said, man, just put the appliances in there. Yeah. So now he does virtual staging, don't you? Yeah. So after that, he said, man, I can start doing virtual staging.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So definitely a photographer. One that we definitely forgot was title company.
100%.
Gotta have a title company.
Because it doesn't have to be the one that you bought the house with.
Yeah, a lot of times these deals, man, title work has already been done. You may have had one buyer like fall through. But just for simplicity, because all title companies, they do have the ability to offer you title insurance. And that's really what's most important when you're buying. But when it comes to that selling side, making sure it goes smooth, making sure, they are, somebody that already has your LLC docs and all of that stuff, a good relationship, that'll stay open late for you when you need to, that'll open early when you need to, that'll send a notary to you, all of that stuff. Definitely the two title companies we work with the most, Home First Title Group out in Crofton, Maryland, with Michelle, and District Title Corporation in DC with Steve. I mean, I legitimately feel like they always have our back.
100%. And I would say a lot of people look at it as, well, the seller's trying to make me use their title company, like what's wrong? Like, what, are they doing something illegal? No, they're not. They're trying to make it faster.
Yep.
They're trying to make it cheaper. What you can always do to try to protect yourself if you think there's something going on, buy an enhanced policy.
Yeah.
That way it covers everything. Like any potential issue that can ever come up, you got that enhanced title policy, you're good. Your new buyer, they'll be covered.
Yeah. So definitely title company. And you said landscaping, and then just attorneys in general. So the good thing about Steve at District Title, he's a practicing attorney also.
Right.
And so he'll, but it's still in the real estate realm. He's not going to help you sue your neighbor, cause, you know what I'm saying, because you did something over there. But he will be the guy from a real estate perspective, give you sound advice, provide you with sound contracts that he has, vetted or even developed from scratch, right, and tweaked over the years as the laws have changed. And so somebody like that who can give you the advice and the service, is like second to none. So yeah, title company. It was somebody else we talked. Oh yeah, so he's a practicing attorney too, so that's good. Then we have other ones like with the condominium conversions in the city. We work with Shannon Laws. She is great. I've had the pleasure of working with her on 2 projects so far. She's been a part. Well, I've directly had the pleasure of working with her on 2 projects, but she's been involved, I was saying, probably maybe a half dozen to 10 other projects that we have worked on, and it's always gone smooth,
man.
seamlessly.
That's
and she
right.
works with you from the beginning. She's
That's
like,
right.
well, if
Oh,
you
you
want to
see
get condos,
yeah.
you need to make sure the seller signs this.
Yeah.
And then I need to review this documentation and this, because one, I got to make sure you can make it condos, right? Just because it's zoned for multi-units don't mean you can make it condos.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And so you can stay, you'll be stuck with a multi-unit building.
Yeah.
So I need you to do this as a buyer to make sure you can make it condos. And then I'm gonna work with you throughout the process. And then I need you to do this when we get to the selling side to make sure you don't have to pay that tax to DC. And that's been through trial and error. I mean, there's been projects early on before I knew her that we had to pay that tax.
Yeah.
And, or have that money on deposit with the city for that 2 year as opposed to just getting that bond.
Yeah.
So definitely people like that are knowledgeable. You have to put yourself in a position where they want to take your phone call.
That's right.
Right. And I think building that credibility really helps that.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Being an overall nice guy. We're often in situations where we have to go good cop, bad cop. Right?
Why am I the bad cop? I think it goes both ways often.
It goes both ways often, but it's harder for me to be. Somebody has to like push me. You may need one button push. I probably need like 4 buttons pushed.
It depends on who it is.
Okay. Depends on who's doing the pushing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that is like the external team. Well, we have been very fortunate to be in a position where we can start to build our internal team.
That's right.
Right. And I think for somebody that's brand new, you know, you want to surround yourself with those service providers. It goes back to the radio show we had last week where whatever gaps you may have, we have the ability. We network with these people all the time. We get beneficial pricing on a lot of stuff, and we can help you fill in those gaps for any type of project that you're working on in the city or in Maryland. And so definitely keep that in mind. Our office number is 301-795-4272, 301-795-4272, and just hit option one on there. And then so we can help you build that. But as you grow, and the goal is to need us less and less.
That's right.
I think the first step for a lot of people is getting that virtual assistant.
That's right.
Right, because it's the most cost effective.
Yeah.
And there are a couple companies out there, Upwork, and I think there's another one. I just don't remember the name of it.
It's like My Help Desk or something like that.
Yeah, My Help Desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you can get a virtual assistant to help you with a lot of day-to-day stuff, streamline some of your processes. So I think that's probably the first go-to for a lot of people building their internal team. And then when you get a step beyond that, I mean, that's when it becomes like extremely powerful, man, and you actually are in a position to employ
That's right.
your brethren, your people.
That's right.
Right? And so, like I can speak volumes about my team, about our team.
That's right.
Right? Both external and internal. And, you know, it actually does like leave me speechless sometimes at how efficient and effective they can be as we do different deals and initiate different campaigns and stuff like that. So what do you think if somebody was looking to hire somebody, see if you got the same answer as me, what should be the first thing? So you interview them, okay, I think they might be a good fit, right? For whatever you hire them for. Maybe you just want them to do your QuickBooks for you. Do all your bookkeeping, do your whatever, answer your phone, etc. What should you do next, in your opinion? After somebody's like, I think I want to hire them, what's the next step?
3 minutes.
What do I do next?
What do you think somebody should do next?
If they want to hire a person,
Yeah.
check out their social media.
Social media?
Yeah.
So you would do social media? My answer was going to be the DISC assessment.
Oh, I thought we already did that because you knew you wanted to hire them. Because we wouldn't even interview them.
Okay. So you having them do the DISC assessment
Before they even come
in for the interview?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I had that backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't even know if the personalities are going to match, so why even waste time?
Okay. All right. That's a good point. Social media tells a lot.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Because that's going to let me know we're going to be able to even get along with them.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. All right. We're going to hit you real quick with can I get that train horn or not?
I searched for it, I don't have.
Oh, man. All right. So I'm going to do honk. All right. That's a train horn.
2 minutes.
Hit them with a quick demand the myth, the legend. We got good news on November the 6th, right? That changed the life. We had the
Oh,
spaceship.
yeah.
Right?
November 6th was all good. I'm back in action.
Yeah.
Spaceship took flight. Man, no more $3,000 a month in Uber.
Right.
18 grand, man.
$18,000.
18 grand I spent in Uber from May to November. It's crazy. I need to be an investor
In Uber.
in Uber and Lyft.
I think Durant is an investor in Uber.
Shoot, man. But yeah, man. Today, man, I just want to tell everybody, man, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just be yourself, man. I realized these past 6 months, man, I haven't been myself. I think I've been in a place where I've been struggling just to make things happen every day. And me being such a strategist, man, it's like it's crippled me. But I've done everything I could do to try to get there. Every day, get there. Wherever I needed to be on time as best I could. And I struggled, but I made it happen. But what I got to do is get back to being me, man. That's what everybody else needs to do. In 2020, focus on being yourself. You be yourself, you can't lose.
Right. No, that's good advice that I have heard, and I probably have not taken it like I should have.
Hey, man, we got to do it. It's your birthday.
Yep, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. Shout out to Matt Cooper, if you're still listening. I texted him, I was like, man, if you listen to me, I'll give you a shout out.
He's called you 1,000 times, by the way.
So, all right, that's all we got for today. Check us out on Saturday. We'll be back on Saturday. Saturday is the 16th. I think I did that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday is the 16th, noon, WOL 1450 AM, WLDCnews.com. Reggie Riley, Marcus Thomas. Yeah, go ahead.
Marcus Thomas. And a B-side there, I didn't post you.
I didn't pose you. Capital Invest, DMV Investment Opportunity. See y'all on Saturday.